Good evening. Can you hear me over there? The chairman is stuck in traffic, and so I'll start the meeting. This meeting is hereby called to order. And I would like to read the following notice, which has been distributed into the record of this public meeting. The meetings of the Board of Trustees of the City University of New York are open to the public, and the board welcomes the interest of those who attend. The public has ample opportunity to communicate with the board. Public hearings on the board's policy calendar are scheduled 1 week prior to the board's regular meetings, and members of the public who wish to communicate with the board are invited to express their views at such public hearings. Furthermore, the board holds regular additional public hearings each year in all of the 5 boroughs, at which members of the public may also speak. In addition, written communication to the board are distributed to all trustees. The board must carry out the functions assigned to it by law, and therefore will not tolerate conduct by members of the public that disrupts its meetings. In the event of disruptions, including noise, which interferes with board discussion, after appropriate warning, I will ask the security staff to remove persons engaged in disruptive conduct. The university may seek disciplinary and/or criminal sanctions against persons who engage in conduct that violates the university's rules or state laws which prohibit interference with the work of public bodies. I would now like to ask everyone to take a moment to mute their cell phones, Blackberries, iPhones, Androids, or any other device that they have, please. Pacemakers, any such devices like that which would interfere with the public hearing. As usual, CUNY TV is transmitting the public sessions of this afternoon's meeting of the Board of Trustees live on cable channel 75. This meeting is also being broadcast live and can be accessed by going to www.cuny.edu. The public session of this board meeting will be available as a podcast within 24 hours and can also be accessed via the CUNY website. First of all, I'm very pleased to announce that Dr. Anthony Capri, Chair of the Science Department at John Jay College of Criminal Justice, is with us here today. And as you may recall, Dr. Capri won the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Mentoring last month. Congratulations to Dr. Capri and the science program at John Jay College. President Travis, would you please introduce Dr. Capri?
Last month, as Chairman Berry announced, Professor Carpi was one of 11 individuals to receive the Presidential Award for Excellence in Science, Mathematics, and Engineering Mentoring, presented to him by President Barack Obama at a ceremony in the White House. Professor Carpi was nominated by the college and selected by the National Science Foundation in recognition of his groundbreaking work in creating PRISM, the Program for Research Initiatives in Science Majors, an undergraduate research initiative that creates opportunities for our forensic science students to engage in faculty-mentored research projects. You will find a copy of a report describing PRISM at your place at the table. Professor Carpi embodies the idea of the scholar-teacher. His research lab studies the movement of mercury through the atmosphere, water, and soil. In particular, he studies how the global circulation of mercury is affected by climate change, deforestation, and industrial pollution, all of which have critical public health implications. But the Presidential Award was not for Professor Carpi's personal research accomplishments. It is for his pioneering role in bringing undergraduate students into his lab and into the research projects of other science faculty at John Jay. Since joining faculty in 1997, he has spearheaded a series of innovations that are enhancing science education, particularly by developing resources focused on scientific reasoning, and the process of scientific investigation. His pedagogical initiatives have been supported by substantial federal grants, 3 of which, totaling $1.5 million, are listed in today's program from the Department of Education and the National Science Foundation. Because of his efforts and those of other members of his department, the undergraduate science program at John Jay has been transformed. The results of PRISM are impressive. We have significantly increased the rates of retention and graduation for our science majors. We have secured hundreds of thousands of dollars in external funding to support the undergraduate research program in the sciences. Now, 4 years into the reform effort, we are seeing the most gratifying results. Our graduates are now being accepted into graduate programs, medical schools, and nationally ranked PhD programs, such as that at the University of Miami, University of New York at Stony Brook. We are particularly pleased to note that because a high percentage of our students are women and students of color, the PRISM program is contributing to larger efforts at CUNY through the Decade of the Sciences and elsewhere to bring racial, ethnic, and gender diversity to the sciences. Because of PRISM and Professor Carpy's leadership, when our new building opens in the fall, complete with 21 teaching labs for our science program, John Jay will be ready to take its place as a serious science college within our university. President Obama and the National Science Foundation recognized a true star in Professor Carpy, and at John Jay, we are pleased to call him one of our own, and I'm pleased to introduce him to this board.
Thanks so much for the opportunity to speak with you, and thank you, President Travis. It's a real honor to be here today. Let me just say a few short words about some of the programs that we've implemented at John Jay. If you have any questions, I'm happy to answer them for more detail. As you all likely know, John Jay is one of the largest 4-year Hispanic-serving institutions in the northeastern United States, and it's one of the most diverse institutions within CUNY. You may not know that the science major at John Jay is one of the larger single science majors within the CUNY system. Over the last decade, we've been lucky enough to leverage significant federal and external funding to support a number of programs to really enhance the student experience in the sciences at John Jay. Specifically, we've developed a student science tutoring program, a peer mentoring program, and as President Travis mentioned, most significantly, an undergraduate research program. These programs have really been very successful, not just in terms of the number of students they've attracted to them specifically, but in terms of growth in other aspects, in terms of graduation rates and postgraduate success of our students. Over the last 3 years, graduation rates in science from John Jay College are almost 3-fold higher than they were a decade ago. And most significantly, as President Travis mentioned, the number of students moving on to MD, PhD, and other graduate programs has grown by almost 5-fold. So whereas in the 1990s, we only sent a small handful of students on to graduate programs, in the last decade, we've sent 24 students on to MD, PhD, and other top-level graduate degrees, and half of those students have been minority students, and a majority of them have also been women. So while I knew these numbers were significant to our institution, the opportunity to go to Washington really showed me that these are significant numbers on a national level, in terms of the national pipeline of minority students moving into MD, PhD programs. And I think it really represents a real opportunity for both John Jay College and CUNY as an institution. I know the university has other programs to support these types of efforts. John Jay has been a bit under-recognized as a science institution compared to some of our CUNY brethren, and President Travis and our current administration have been really phenomenal about getting the word out about science at John Jay. This has led to a significant increase in recognition of sciences at John Jay, and also to enrollment in sciences in John Jay. And we very much appreciate all the support from the college and from the university. And I just want to point out that Vice Chancellor Small's office has been particularly helpful in recognizing John Jay as a science institution. In the coming decade, what we hope to do is really leverage these resources to further increase our graduation rates, the number of students moving on from our program to postgraduate work, and to become scientists in their own right. Again, thank you for having this opportunity. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to take them.
Again, we are honored with the contributions that you have made. Thank you very much for that. And as CUNY continues to move forward with the Decade of the Sciences, we certainly are proud of your achievements into that mission and goal. Thank you very much again.
Thank you.
Yeah. What I'd like to do at this point is to turn the meeting over to the chairperson, who will take it from here. Chairman Schmidt.
Sorry to have been tied up a bunch of car accidents on the FDR, some pretty serious ones, I think. I'm pleased to announce that Trustee Jeffrey Weisenfeld was honored by the Queens Village Republican Club yesterday at their testimonial dinner in honor of State Senator Frank Padovan. Jeff was presented with the Education Advocate of the Year Award for his efforts on behalf of CUNY. Congratulations, Jeff. I also would like to thank Vice Chairperson Phil Barry and Trustees Frida Foster, Rita DiMartino, and Corey Provost for participating in the New York State Association of Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian Legislative Caucus Conference and the CUNY Luncheon during the weekend of February 12th through February 14th. We'll hear more about this CUNY event from Chancellor Goldstein, but I did want to thank the trustees for their participation in that. I'd also like to announce that Trustee Kathleen Pasilli represented CUNY at the Association of Community College Trustees Legislative Conference in Washington recently. She had a tour of the White House and an introductory meeting with the new congressman from the 13th District, Michael Grimm, who represents Staten Island and Brooklyn, to focus on higher education issues affecting CUNY students. Trustee Pasilli is working on arrangements for CSI students to visit Congressman Grimm's office soon. Congratulations to General Counsel and Senior Vice Chancellor Rick Schaefer, for being honored with the Excellence in Public Service Award from the New York State Bar Association at its annual meeting in February. I am pleased to announce that progress has been made on a project several of us initiated last year with the help of Executive Vice Chancellor Lexa Logue and her staff at the Office of Academic Affairs, and the help of Associate Vice Chancellor Brian Cohen and his Computing and Information Services staff. The Office of the Secretary of the Board will be launching the first ever paperless meeting of the Committee on Academic Policy, Programs, and Research on Monday, April 4th. Senior Vice Chancellor and Secretary Jay Hershenson will be in touch with the members of this committee in mid-March in order to acquaint them with the details. The paperless team plans to have all of the board's committee meetings without paper by the fall of 2011. I do want to extend our condolences to the family of Joe Flom, one of the most illustrious and devoted graduates of the City College of New York, class of 1948, who passed away on February 23rd. His devotion to City College has been quiet but unwavering over a lifetime of professional success in the law firm of Skadden Arps, Slate, Marr & Flom. His support of City College's honors program, the Center for Mathematics Education, the Emergency Fund through both the Flom and the Petrie Foundations exemplifies his determination to give future opportunities the opportunity that he had. As a special present on his 80th birthday, his partners at Skadden Arps endowed the Joseph H. Flom Award for Academic Excellence at City College that is awarded annually to the most outstanding graduate of the class. Together with his colleagues at Skadden Arps, Mr. Flom established the groundbreaking Skadden Arps Honors Program in Legal Studies at City College in 2008 with a $10 million grant to help increase the number of individuals from populations currently underrepresented in law school and in the legal profession. Mr. Flom will be sorely missed. I would like to report that the board held its Brooklyn Borough hearing in conjunction with the public hearing on the board's February 2011 calendar on Tuesday, February 8th. Vice Chair Philip Berry chaired that hearing, and that was also attended by Trustees Sam Sutton, Corey Provost, and Sandy Cooper, members of the Chancellery, CUNY's Brooklyn College presidents, as well as the new community college's founding president, Scott Evenbeck, were all present. A summary of the proceedings has been circulated to the trustees and the Chancellor's cabinet, and transcripts are available in the office of the Secretary. The board will hold its next borough hearing on Monday, March 21st at the College of Staten Island. Along with Chancellor Goldstein, I've scheduled a dinner for trustees and the Chancellery to meet with CUNY's college faculty governance leaders on the evening of Thursday, March 24th, 2011, in the multi-purpose room located on the second floor at John Jay College in the North Hall building. Thanks to Professor Cooper for suggesting this get-together. We think it will be an important opportunity for discussion about matters of concern to the faculty involving the university, and I look forward to a good turnout for that dinner. On March 8th, CUNY's University Faculty Senate, in association with the Faculty Senate leaders of SUNY, has organized a poster display in the Legislative Office Building lobby featuring graduate student research projects entitled Research That Matters, an exposition of graduate research at SUNY and CUNY. I would like to ask a UFS Chair and Trustee Sandy Cooper to say a few words about this upcoming event. Professor Cooper?
Thank you. I thought those present would be interested in the fact that the faculty senates of the two large public higher education institutions in the state have decided to demonstrate to the legislators the importance of what our students do. Last year, the SUNY faculty did this alone with undergraduate research. We're expecting to do it next year together with undergraduate research. So you might advise your colleagues who are helping students in research projects to keep in mind the fact that they're going to get a call from, I guess, me or someone in the late fall and early winter next year to propose students. The majority of the students going now are from the graduate school in the sciences and social sciences and film program at City College. We have a program arranged thanks to the support of Jay Hershenson, and anybody who'd like to come along is welcome to get on a bus at 5 o'clock in the morning next to the graduate school next Tuesday.
It's a very handsome invitation.
I will bring coffee.
Oh, good. May I now call on Trustee Valerie Beal to announce college and faculty honors.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Baruch College Wiseman School's History Department has received the first ever Equity Award from the American Historical Association in recognition of its track record in retaining and expanding an ethnically diverse faculty. Congratulations. Hunter College was listed as 10th of the top 10 best value public colleges for 2011, just released by the Princeton Review and USA Today. Congratulations. Queens College, Aaron Copland School of Music Jazz Performance Program professor and saxophone player Antonio Hart performed at the recent White House State Dinner for the President of China. Congratulations. A manuscript written by CUNY School of Public Health acting and founding dean Kenneth Olden on environmental health, epigenetics, and efforts to translate fundamental discoveries into cures for common diseases was accepted by Health Affairs magazine as the, quote, framing piece for its first issue on environmental health. Congratulations. Mr. Chair, this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. May I now call on Trustee Kathleen Pasilli to announce student and alumni honors.
Bronx Community College students majoring in science, technology, engineering, and mathematics recently attended the 25th Annual Black Engineer of the Year Award held in Washington, D.C. As the only community college in attendance at the conference, Bronx Community College was the only community college students who attended. Several symposiums exploring such topics as research, career success, scholarships, and professional personal development. And City College and Medgar Evers College also sent a contingency. For more information, please refer to the paper-bound table entitled The Bea Experience. Congratulations. Queens College Aaron Copland School of Music 2010 alumna Rachel Smith appeared on American Idol in January 2011. She is currently studying on a full scholarship for her master's degree in music at McGill University. Congratulations. John Jay College graduate student S. Catherine Salinger was one of the 10 U.S. recipients of the 2011 German Chancellor Fellowship. This prestigious prize is awarded to future leaders who will spend a year researching restorative justice practices at the University of Tübingen. Congratulations. A team of Baruch College students competing in the 8th annual Rotman International Trading Competition placed third overall among 46 universities from Australia, China, Thailand, Europe, United Kingdom, United States, and Canada. Congratulations. For the 14th consecutive year, Hostos Community College had a 100% pass rate for the American Registry of Radiology Technologists certifying exam with an average score of 89.2. Congratulations. A video clip produced by a team of LaGuardia Community College students has won the New York Federal Reserve Bank 2010 Financial Awareness Video Competition Pilot. This video has played in several local movie theaters for the last 2 weeks. Congratulations. Both the men's and women's swim teams from Baruch College won back-to-back CUNY athletic AC championships this month. Congratulations. This concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. There is a list of grants and gifts received by the university subsequent to our January 24th, 2011 meeting, available at the table and in your trustees' calendar book. I'd like now to call on Chancellor Goldstein to present his report on recent activities.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Let me start with the state budget. State budget negotiations are fully underway. All of you at your seats have a copy of my testimony before the New York State Assembly Ways and Means and Senate Finance Committees, which I gave on February 10th. You also have a gold sheet that represents the university's priorities both on the operating side and on the capital side for your information. Need I say that the state's fiscal situation continues to be very difficult indeed. I do not fully expect that we will get consideration further on the request for assistance in our operating budget beyond what the governor has proposed, but we continue to hammer away at this with legions of people. I will be up in Albany
again to make my rounds speaking with the leadership on both the Assembly and in the Senate, as well as with the governor's people. Our efforts continue around trying to secure the university's balance sheet now and in its future, and very much part of that is proposing, again, consideration for the CUNY Compact, which is a financing vehicle that derives its numbers from the master plan that was approved by this board in 2008. And indeed, Mr. Chairman and other members of the board, we will very soon start a fresh master plan, and we will certainly engage with the board and fully with the members of the university community to craft that particular document. But embedded in the financing plan for any master plan is, again, our unrelenting efforts to try to secure enhancement of a rational tuition policy. All of you know that tuition is a helter-skelter effort both at SUNY and CUNY, and both SUNY and CUNY are joining hands again this year to try to convince the legislature of the importance of a rational tuition policy. For the last 10 years, this board has stood shoulder to shoulder with me as we have tried to get the idea of a rational tuition policy embedded into state policy, and hopefully we are going to make further efforts this year. All of our colleges, again, are engaged in lobbying visits to Albany, as well as district offices. I've asked a number of presidents to take the lead on each of the boroughs, Presidents Ricardo Fernandez in the Bronx, James Meiskens in Queens, Tomas Morales in Staten Island, Jeremy Travis in Manhattan, Russ Hotzler in Brooklyn, and of course we always depend on our state, our representative amongst our students, Corey Provost, to be involved in campaigning as well, and we really appreciate your efforts as we continue down this road. Chairman mentioned the CUNY luncheon at the Black, Puerto Rican, Hispanic, and Asian Caucus weekend that took place on February 19th. We had the occasion at our luncheon to recognize Robert Refkin, who is the newly installed member of the CUNY Business Leadership Council, a principal and vice president at Goldman Sachs, and he has been enormously energetic and showed his largesse through many efforts to help CUNY students in particular with a very successful mentoring program. And it was a wonderful luncheon, very well attended, and a lot of high regard and respect and affection for the work that continues to go on at this university. The leaders on both the Senate and the Assembly side are expected to agree on revenues by March 1st, and if they don't, then the comptroller, Thomas DiNapoli, by statute, as all of you know, will impose a revenue target by March 5th. The state budget is scheduled to be adopted by March 31st, and from everything that I can determine with certainly incomplete information, we are well on our way to actually achieving that target of putting the state budget to bed at that particular time. There will be an awful lot of effort after the budget is adopted, and that's when we think a tuition policy is really going to be seriously entertained after the budget, because as I reported at our meeting last time, the governor did not embed a tuition a tuition recommendation for SUNY and CUNY, but did recognize the revenue that this board supported in granting a tuition increase for the spring semester. And I will tell you, without any hesitation at all, that was a very important decision that we made here. Had we not had that revenue embedded into our operating budget, we would be in harm's way, beyond the harm's way that we are facing now, but it certainly mitigated a lot of the problems that would have been in effect. Moving on to the city budget, Mayor Bloomberg issued his 2012 preliminary budget on February 17th. The budget reductions previously announced by the mayor in the fall were included in his financial plan. For CUNY, the reduction targets for our community colleges are about $7.8 million in the current year, slated to be $16 million in 2012. But the current year's target includes a $4 million restoration from the City Council. And in addition, because of the tuition increase that we imposed in January, that helped with another $6 million in the current year. So had we not, again, had the tuition and the help from the City Council, our community colleges would have felt even greater stress than they're facing right now. The mayor will issue his executive budget for 2012 sometime in the spring, obviously after the state has adopted its budget. As I reported to the board at our last meeting, Mayor Bloomberg recently announced that the city would like to partner with a university to develop and operate an engineering school or an applied science school here in the city of New York. When I heard about this, I initiated a conference call with the heads of New York University, Columbia University, Mount Sinai, Cornell University, to see if we could have a discussion among ourselves with the intention of coming up with a certain set of themes that would make sense for the institutions. And I'm pleased to tell you, based upon the very good work that I've asked Vice Chancellor Jillian Small to do with the other Vice Presidents for Research and Deans of Research at those institutions, we expect to put in a proposal partnering with New York University and Carnegie Mellon, and another proposal with Columbia University, both of those institutions seeking to partner with us as a result of that initial set of conversations which we initiated several months back. So we'll see where this goes. We were invited to a small reception about a month ago at the museum, the American Museum of Art, and there Mike Bloomberg, Seth Pinsky, others in the administration talked about this program, and we're hopeful that we will be involved, but we will see. I have expressed concern before this board about the federal Pell Grant program, which we now know is expected to run at a $20 billion deficit commencing with fiscal year 2012. The House of Representatives recently passed a budget bill known as H.R. 1, proposes a reduction in the maximum Pell Grant award by $845, which would affect all our Pell recipients and cost CUNY students collectively about $75 million. The bill also proposes eliminating the Supplemental Educational Opportunity Grant Program, which is available to undergraduates with exceptional financial need. This cut would, in addition, cost CUNY students, if enacted, an additional $6.8 million. By denying students the opportunity and means to complete their education, as I have said before, these proposed cuts would result in a dramatic problem for a number of our students. And we, as a result, are taking an initiative. I've composed an op-ed piece about the Pell Grant program. I have also written to all of the heads of public higher education institutions around the United States, asking them to join in with me, expressing their deep concern about these proposals in the House of Representatives and the proposals initiated by the President. We are also doing an email campaign to all of the New York congressional delegation. We are working with Cassidy and Associates to really get the message across. If enacted, this would have harmful effects on CUNY students, and we want to do everything in our power to try to mitigate against those impending cuts. Under the leadership of Executive Vice Chancellor Alexandra Logue, we continue to work diligently to pursue a revised general education framework and transfer credit policies to enhance the progress of CUNY's large numbers of transfer students. In the spirit of the integrated university, we aim to create clear curricular pathways for students who move among or within any of our colleges. I have addressed the board on this issue before. It is my intention to recommend to the board in June that we establish a framework for this effort. This effort is going to be long and complex and must be driven by the faculties across the university. Other universities have done it a different way through an on-high approach, a sledgehammer approach, either by a board or a state legislature. I just don't think that really is the way to go. But whenever you have a discussion like this, you have to have a foundation to start. You have to establish initial conditions for that discussion, and that is what I expect to bring to the board in June. Nothing more than a framework for discussions, initial conditions under which we start a very thorough conversation with large numbers of faculties across the university. At the end of the day, what we hope to achieve is the true seamless efforts that connect our universities, colleges. It's not just community colleges to senior colleges. We even have students that start at senior colleges and transfer to two-year institutions, from two-year institutions to two-year institutions, four-year institutions to four-year institutions. We have worked at this for decades, and we still don't have it right. The will is there, and I think at the end of this process, we will be in a very different place. We have created a dedicated website, www.cuny.edu/pathways, which provides information that we have gathered and reviews in detail the process that we are about to undertake. There is an opportunity to provide feedback via the website, and we encourage members, all members of the university community to do so. Last spring, Mr. Chairman and other members of the board, I introduced Jennifer Rubain to all of you, then the university's new dean for recruitment and diversity. One of Jennifer's first responsibilities was to coordinate a CUNY diversity study to examine all aspects of our many diversity programs. I'm pleased to report that the Diversity Study Steering Committee, chaired by Asian American Asian Research Institute Director Joyce Moy held its first meeting on February 23rd. I gave the committee a charge to conduct a rigorous and comprehensive evaluation of current recruitment and retention policies, initiatives, and activities at CUNY. Second, to identify and document best practices that develop and promote diversity, and identify institutional barriers that hinder diversity throughout the system and make recommendations for their elimination in order to increase the representation of underrepresented groups, enhance their experiences within the university, and strengthen the climate of diversity. I am deeply appreciative of the committee's participation and grateful for the guidance of Vice Chancellor Ginger Waters and Dean Rubain in this important effort. I'm very pleased to tell you that CUNY TV received a record 8 New York Emmy Award nominations for its innovative programs. And you can see a big smile on the face of Jay Hershenson. Let's see that smile, Jay. And Bob Isaacson. Where are you, Bob? 2 smiles. We will watch those proceedings with great interest and look forward to bringing home the gold again, as you did last year. The spring edition of CUNY Matters is around the table and includes a special focus on many important areas at CUNY as the CUNY value credit transfers and ebooks. Congratulations once again to CUNY Matters team for putting together this first-rate publication. Take some time and read this extraordinary publication. It comes out, how often, Jay? Every 2 months. It is lively, it's informative, it's well-written, and it's a great lens on the wonderful work that goes on at this university. I want to pay particular, other than our Senior Vice Chancellor, Jay Hershenson, who oversees all of this, to pay particular homage and respect to Michael Arena, who's the University Director of Communications, the Managing Editor, Barbara Shia, Director of Graphics Design, Rich Shinehouse, designer Miriam Smith, and the contributing writers, designers, and photographers. And I'm holding the best for last. On Thursday of February 24th, the university sponsored the 210 CUNY Nobel Science Challenge. It's an award ceremony consistent with our Decade of Science initiative. Vice Chancellor Jillian Small started the CUNY Nobel Science Challenge to help promote scientific literacy across the university, and this was the second year of the competition. We have with us today both faculty and students who work with Vice Chancellor Small on this program. I'd like to acknowledge a wonderful dear friend, the former president of the American Physical Society, a very, very eminent physicist, a friend of long-standing, Professor Miriam Sarachik, who is in our audience. Miriam, thank you for all of your work. And we have a bevy of possible Nobel laureates in the future in the audience. Laura Surmasan from Hunter College won first place in physics. Laura. Varkey Matthew from Hunter College, second place in physics. Andre Galper from New York City College of Technology, third place in physics. Congratulations. Raymond Zauer from Hunter College, first place in chemistry. Zadia Husani, College of Staten Island, third place in chemistry. And I'm told that Zayeda is here with her mother. Sadia Husani, are you here? Also here today is Joshua Philippe, a senior at Hunter College, who, as the first place winner in economics, won an iMac computer, and as the overall grand prize winner, received a $3,000 award. Joshua is majoring in economics and minoring in mathematics. We bonded immediately when I saw him. His academic interests include econometrics. Joshua, I used to teach econometrics, but I don't remember a thing anymore. But probability theory, industrial organization, finance, and economic history. He's an economics tutor and recently completed an internship at Ogilvy and Mather, and a global advertising and marketing research firm. After graduation, Joshua plans to work for a year before pursuing his doctoral studies. Prior to entering Hunter, Joshua served 4 years in the Army as a medic and a nurse. He is a member of the Golden Key International Honor Society and has been on the Dean's List every semester since enrolling at Hunter. I asked Joshua to come and introduce himself to all of you, take a couple of minutes to say what's on his mind. And Joshua, we're deeply admiring of you, and thank you for taking the time to address our board.
Thank you. I'll keep it nice and short. It was a great honor to be a recipient of the CUNY Nobel Science Challenge Award. And actually, being a native New Yorker and parents from the Dominican Republic, I found it to be very important to actually participate in the challenge, as it is a very important endeavor of promoting scientific literacy, not only for me, but also for the communities where we all come from. I had a wonderful experience as a contestant, as the challenge impels you to learn independently and to effectively communicate and interpret technical literature, which is so vital in our world today. Besides that, thank you for inviting me here. It was a great pleasure. I did not even know these meetings took place, but, but I guess it's to help all of us here, and I appreciate it on behalf of the rest of the students that won the award. Thank you.
Are there any questions for the Chancellor on his report? Comments? All right, thank you very much, Chancellor Goldstein. We'll turn now to items that require a vote. I would like to move the adoption of the Chancellor's University Report for February 28, 2011. You'll have copies of the report at the table. May I have a second?
Second, Mr. Chairman.
Any questions for the Chancellor on the report? All in favor say aye. Aye. Are there any opposed? Abstentions? That carries. I would like to move the adoption, the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting and executive session of January 24th, 2011. You have a copy of the draft minutes in your meeting book behind section 2. May I have a second for the adoption of the motion of the minutes?
Second.
Any revisions, comments? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The minutes are approved. We will turn now to the reports of our committees, and we'll hear first from the Committee on Fiscal Affairs. I'd like to call on Trustee Joe Loda.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Committee on Fiscal Affairs met on January 31st, 2011. After approval of the minutes from the November 1st meeting, the committee approved the following resolution. Calendar item 3A is a resolution authorizing the General Counsel to execute a contract on behalf of the Borough of Manhattan Community College to purchase custodial services for its lease spaces at 70 Murray Street, the West Street Trailers, and 108 Cooper Street. The contract shall be awarded to the lowest responsive and responsible bidder pursuant to law and university regulations. Such purchase shall not exceed a total estimated cost of $414,000. Mr. Chairman, I move the approval and adoption of calendar item 3A.
Thank you very much. May I have a second for that motion? Second. Any questions for the committee? Then all in favor say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That matter carries.
Following the approval of the action items by the committee, University Controller Dr. Barry Kaufman reported on the meeting of Fiscal Affairs Audit Subcommittee held on January 26th. The university's external auditors, KPMG, presented their findings on the university's 2010 consolidated financial statements and issued their clean, unqualified opinion on the basic financial statements as of and for the year ended June 30th, 2010. In its management letter to the Audit Subcommittee, KPMG identified one significant deficiency in internal control regarding the university's financial reporting process. The auditors recommended more timely year-end financial analysis and review of component units. To achieve this, the auditors recommended quarterly financial closes. Dr. Kaufman indicated his agreement with their recommendation, but noted that until the various legacy systems are converted to CUNY First, the university should implement a mid-year close and a year-end close. It was following this, Associate Vice Chancellor Matthew Sapienza gave an update on the state and city budgets. Following that, Associate Vice Chancellor, University Chief Investment Officer Janet Crone reported on the university's investment portfolio. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to take this opportunity to report to the Board of Trustees on the meeting of Fiscal Affairs Subcommittee on Investments held on February 7th. At that meeting, Cambridge Associates made a presentation on the reallocation of non-marketable allocations to equity and the consideration of a global equity manager. A motion followed to reallocate the 5% non-marketable alternatives to equity as follows. 2% of the 5% allocation to be added to emerging market equity, increasing it from 5% to 7%, and the remaining 3% to be divided equally between U.S. and non-U.S. equity instruments. Following a discussion, the motion was unanimously approved. At this point in the subcommittee, it went into executive session for a presentation that was presented by Mr. Daniel Kurtz of the law firm of Skadden Arps on the New York Prudent Management of Institutional Funds Act. Following the executive session, two motions were presented at the table. One motion to hire Dimensional Fund Advisors, DFA, a small cap emerging fund equity manager for up to 2% of the position, and a second motion was to hire Colchester Global Investments Limited, a global manager, for up to 5% of our fixed income allocation. Following discussion of both items, they were unanimously approved. Mr. Chairman, this concludes my report.
Thank you very much. Are there any questions for the chair of the committee on either the audit or the investment committee meeting? The board will be pleased to know that last year the performance of the CUNY endowment was well up in the top quarter of all institutional endowments in the country, so it was a good year, and we appreciate the work of the committee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, we'll turn next to the Committee on Academic Policy Programs and Research. I'd like to call on Trustee Wellington Chen.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. At its January 31st meeting, the committee approved 7 policy matters. Calendar number 4A, application to establish the new community college. For the first time in 40 years, this board is being asked to approve the creation of an entirely new college to join the CUNY system, responding to a clear local and national need to provide community college education to more students. The existing community colleges operate at top capacity, having witnessed a 40% enrollment increase in the last decade. The demand is particularly high in the borough of Manhattan, where the new college will be located. The planning for the new college, which has started in the early 2008 under the leadership of Senior University Dean John Mokulescu, involved faculty and administrators from across CUNY as well as external reviewers, and took into account the best practices throughout the CUNY system, including the CUNY 3-year-old Accelerated Study in Associate Program, ASAP, which was funded by the Mayor's Center for Economic Opportunity. The new college is expected to become a site for curricular innovations aimed at increasing student retention and graduation rates. The planning for the community college has been supported by grants from the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and the Carnegie Corporation of New York. Dr. Scott Evanbeck, a nationally recognized educator, has been appointed founding president of the new community college, and he officially assumed his responsibilities on January 1st, 2011. Calendar number 4B, application to register the first 8 degree programs for the new community college. The initial 8 programs to be registered at the new community college represent a wide range of disciplines, selected on basis of student demand and employment opportunities in the New York City area. The selected majors are a combination of applied programs that allow for entry employment, as well as liberal arts and sciences programs, preparing students for transfer to a senior college. Once the new college reaches its full capacity, it is expected to have an enrollment of approximately 3,000 with a choice of up to 12 majors. Students in all majors will have the same intense first-year curriculum, allowing students to start earning college credits right away, even though some students will have to take additional remedial courses at the same time. The semester model will follow that in use at Kingsborough and LaGuardia Community College, with 12-week terms in the fall and spring, each followed by a 6-week term. Core faculty members will have already been recruited. The 8 programs are as A, Associate in Arts in Business Administration, B, Associate in Applied Science in Energy Services Management, C, Associate in Science and in Environmental Science, D, Associate in Applied Science in Health Information Technology. This 70-credit program requires a waiver of the 6120 board policy due to the need for co-comply with accreditation standards. Associate in Arts in Human Services, F, Associate in Applied Science in Information Technology, G, Associate in Arts in Liberal Arts and Science, and last but not least, Associate in Arts and Urban Studies. Calendar number 4C, application to register the dual joint ASBS in Science for Forensic Science at Kingsborough Community College and John Jay College. The AS in Science and Forensics is designed to provide students with a strong foundation in the sciences and calculus, and a solid general education, so that they will graduate with skills necessary for academic success in the BS in Forensic Science. That degree is designed to provide academic and professional training for students seeking to work in forensic science laboratories, or who are planning to pursue careers as research scientists, teachers, or medical professionals. This joint curriculum is offered to address the increased interest in forensic science among students who need preparation on associate level to succeed in this field at the baccalaureate level. Calendar number 4D, application to abolish the Department of Associate Degree Nursing and Practical Nursing and the Department of Bachelor's Degree Nursing and the establishment of the Department of Nursing. The abolishment of the Department of Associate Degree Nursing and Practical Nursing and the Department of Bachelor's Degree Nursing, as well as the creation of the Department of Nursing, has been reviewed and approved at the college by the appropriate bodies. The abolition of the two existing college departments will neither impact degree programs or courses offered by the college, nor affect the tenure or seniority of any faculty member. The college believes that the separation of programs has not served its nursing program well. With the agreement of the faculty involved, Medgar Evers College proposes therefore to establish a Department of Nursing to enable it to better meet the academic needs of all the students who enroll in any of its nursing programs. Calendar number 4E, application to register the Doctor of Nursing Practice Program leading to the DNP degree at Hunter College. The DNP is a professional doctorate that responds to the national trend requiring all advanced practice nurses to have a doctoral level education with an emphasis on clinical practice instead of creation of basic knowledge through research. This clinical doctoral program is distinct from nursing research doctorate, the Doctor of Nursing Science degree. Currently registered to the Graduate Center jointly with the Hunter, Lehman, and the College of Staten Island. The curriculum of the DNP has been created in line with the required competencies set by the American Association of Colleges of Nursing. Given Hunter's long-standing history of providing advanced nursing education, the placement of this program at Hunter is a logical choice, wholly corresponding to the school's mission. Calendar number 4F, application to register the Bachelor of Arts in Sociology at School of Professional Studies at a graduate school and university center. The Bachelor of Arts completion degree in sociology provides students entering with a minimum of 30 undergraduate credits with the opportunity to develop valuable skills for the contemporary world of works, as well as a solid foundation for graduate study. This completion degree is in a highly popular traditional liberal arts discipline, will be taught entirely in an online format, giving adult students the flexibility to finish their degree regardless of constraint due to family or community responsibilities, work schedules, or health issues that would otherwise prevent them from attending the face-to-face classes. Calendar number 4G, application to register the Bachelor of Science degree in Health Information Management at the School of Professional Studies at Graduate School and University Center. The Bachelor of Science degree in Health Information Management is also an online program for degree completers with a minimum of 30 undergraduate transfer credits. The program will prepare graduates for the American Health Information Management Association's Registered Health Information Administrator credential, which is now an industry expectation for employment. This degree readies students to develop, implement, and manage health information and data systems for quality care, reimbursement, research, planning, and evaluation. Due to its online format, this program will offer the same scheduling flexibility to students as the proposed degree in sociology. Mr. Chairman, item 4A through 4G were approved by the committee, and I recommend the approval by the board.
Thank you very much. May I have a second to Mr. Chen's motion? Thank you. Mr. Chancellor, you have a comment?
I just for the record, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, I want to pay particular homage and respect and gratefulness to our current community college presidents who were so helpful in guiding the process for the new community college and the large numbers of faculties across the university who embraced this effort, and without their work, we would not be where we are today. This is a very big deal. The university has not had a college established in 43 years. This is the first college in 43 years since the founding of LaGuardia Community College in 1968. We are really on the forefront of community college education at CUNY, with President Obama and Secretary Duncan speaking quite articulately about this asset class in higher education that has been, I would say, neglected for too long. And I am delighted that we have an opportunity to really take a lead here. I want to pay particular thanks to John Mogilescu, who I asked several years ago to really start the process of true engagement, and he did it with great energy and enthusiasm and a good sense of where we needed to go. So many people, Scott Evenbeck, thank you for agreeing to start this process as its founding president. Tracy Mead, the project director, Stephanie Benjamin, who has had a long career at CUNY, Stuart Cochran, Tony Gifford, Jennifer Lee, Larry Muciola, former deputy chancellor, was very helpful in the process, Terry Houston and Angie Sandhu, and so many others here that really needed to come together to approach this momentous day. John, do you want to say anything very quickly about?
Thank you, Chancellor. You know you're excited when you can feel your heart beating in your chest, and that is the moment for me right now. It's hard for me to believe that this day is actually here, and I just want to talk briefly and start by thanking the Chancellor for, one, having the confidence in me to lead this project, and two, for his vision and boldness in creating it. What an incredible opportunity to plan for the first new community college in 40 years. And when we began this project 3 years ago, we had no idea both the local and national attention that we would get. The Chancellor did mention the members of the Planning Committee, and I want to say that thank you to that small group of people that is sitting over there, headed by the wonderfully talented Tracy Mead. It's a small group. They've worked so unbelievably hard under lots of pressure and stress and time frame, and I am grateful for all that you have done. Similarly to the Chancellor, I want to thank the presidents, not only of the community colleges, but so many of the people around this table who've given guidance and support, and the vice chancellors who've been at my side every step of the way in so many different aspects of this. I've gotten to know Scott Evanback over the past months, and he will be a great leader for this college and will do wonderfully well. He's a talented and innovative educator. And then just lastly, in 18 months, we will be welcoming our first group of new community college students to this new college, and it will be a historic day. It has been, you know, I've been at CUNY for almost 40 years, and this is one of my, you know, highlights of my career. I'm incredibly proud of what we have accomplished, and if Scott permits, that first day I will be there at his side if we could to greet those students. So thank you very much, Chancellor.
Are there questions or comments about the new community college or any of the other matters recommended by the committee? Not all in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? The new community college is approved. President Evanbeck, would you like to say a few words?
Yes. Thank you, Chancellor. Thank you, Chairman Schmidt and members of the Board of Trustees, for your affirmation of the new community college of the City University of New York. As we make plans to welcome our first students at the new community college next summer, the summer of 2012, it is important that we celebrate the vision for the new community college as articulated by Chancellor Goldstein. Faculty and staff from across City University of New York came together in a comprehensive and thoughtful planning process to lay the foundation for our new college. Many thanks for their contributions and for the dedicated process led by Dean Mogilescu and Tracy Mead, which resulted in the proposal to the New York State Board of Education you just approved. Each of the vice chancellors has played a key leadership role in our development. I thank Provost Logue for her leadership in particular. Each of the other community college presidents has reached out to welcome me and to affirm support for this exciting venture for our university. I joined CUNY last month to work with my colleagues in forming CUNY's first new college in 4 decades. We now have 7 faculty and 3 staff who, coupled with the planning team and our colleagues across the university, have collaboratively outlined our very ambitious timeline to the day next summer when students will first attend classes at 50 West 40th, our terrific but temporary home until we move to our new building near Columbus Circle. Nice happenstance is that today the Catherine Gibbs canopy was replaced by a blue CUNY canopy at 50 West 40th Street. New community college will be marked by diversity, by student success, by cutting-edge use of technology, and most by being centered on student learning. These are markers for all of CUNY under the Chancellor's leadership. Our task is to bring together the most effective practices and policies to enhance student academic achievement and persistence. We met last week to develop our research agenda. Research will be continuous and guide us towards success. We will identify the elements of that success so that the transportable elements can be used elsewhere in CUNY and beyond our borders as a city and state. Our faculty and staff will do our best to create a climate of high expectations with strong support for our low-income, first-generation, diverse students. We don't have our logo or our colors or our fight song, but I can tell you that you're going to appreciate the vitality and the brightness and the diversity and the commitment that those symbols will illustrate as New Community College comes to life with students next year. Thank you.
Thank you very much. We'll turn next to the committee on...
Mr. Chairman, there was still some information items that I did not finish.
Yes.
It's okay.
Trustee Chen.
It's a long reading.
Good.
Dr. Lowe discussed 5 information items with the committee. First, along with the decision of the CUNY proficiency exam, it was proposed to institute another test to assess the general education of CUNY students. A task force has been charged with identifying such a test. The selected test will measure the value added by CUNY education, be nationally benchmarked, measure the sorts of skills and knowledge that are important outcomes of a CUNY education, and be physically viable. Second, the administration is continuing its work to ensure students move as expeditiously as possible towards their degrees. A proposal is being considered that will simplify the transfer of general education and other credits among the colleges. Third, as June meeting, Capra Committee recommended and then the Board of Trustees approved that Macaulay Honors College registers its own degrees programs with the New York State Education Department. Dr. Lowe reported that this work is essentially done and that the Macaulay students will be graduating this spring will be able to receive a diploma awarded jointly by their home college and the Macaulay Honors College. Fourth, the board's approval of a resolution to expand CUNY's tobacco policy to prohibit any tobacco use anywhere on CUNY property by September 2012 will be used as a unique campus-wide opportunity to educate students and other members of the CUNY community about health. CUNY will be significantly supported in this work by the New York City Department of Health and Mental Hygiene. Finally, Dr. Lowe noted that in February, training started on the campuses for the electronic document sharing system that will be used for the preparation of dissemination of CAPRA agendas and documentation. Use of this system will commence with the committee's April meeting. That concludes my report, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you very much. We'll turn next to the Committee on Faculty, Staff, and Administration. I'd like to call on Trustee Valerie Beal.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The Board Committee of Faculty, Staff, and Administration met on January 31st, 2011 to consider the following items, which I now present to the Board for approval. Items 5A through 5J are a series of namings at Baruch College, which I will present as a group. They are the Lawrence and Carol Zicklin Chair in Corporate Integrity and Governance, the William F. Aldinger III Chair in Banking and Finance, the Betty and Marvin Levine Planter, and the Sarah and Louise Levine Planter, the Arlene Class of 50 and Bernard Class of 49 Richards Classroom, the Catherine Garrity Class of 90 and John Griffonity Class of 90 Classroom, the Ruth and Sam Perelson Hillel Suite, naming of the Warren Breslow Class of 65 Classroom, the Pergolas Sustainable Classroom for Real Estate Education, the Nathan Adler Class of 60 Classroom, the Alan G. Aronson Department of Marketing and International. The gifts associated with these namings total $8,295,000. The Board Committee for Faculty, Staff, and Administration has reviewed them and recommends their approval. Mr. Chair, I present items 5A through 5J for the Board's consideration.
Thank you very much. May I have a second on these items?
Second.
Any questions for the committee? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Those items carry.
Item 5K involves the naming of the Skadden Arps Slate Meagher and Flom Scholars Suite for legal studies at the City College of New York. Joseph Flom, who passed away last week, was a 1948 alumnus of City College and a senior named partner at Skadden Arps. Skadden Arps has pledged $10 million to support an honors program in legal studies for students with diverse backgrounds. In recognition of this generous gift, 3 rooms on the 4th floor of the North Academic Center will be designated at the Scholars Suite for Legal Studies and named for the firm. Mr. Chair, I present item 5K for the board's approval.
I'd like to second the motion on 5K. Are there questions for the committee or comments? Then all in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Item 5L names the Julia Lathrop Professor of Child Welfare at Hunter's College School of Social Work in honor of a groundbreaking social worker and reformer whose accomplishments including established the first juvenile court in the United States. Ms. Lathrop was the first woman to head a federal agency, the Children's Bureau, and also served on the United Nations Committee on Child Welfare. $10,000 has been provided to fund the professorship, which will support scholarship and leadership in the area of child welfare. Mr. Chair, I present item 5L for the board's approval.
Thank you. May I have a second? Any questions? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Item 5M authorizes the incorporation of the, quote, CUNY School of Professional Studies Foundation, end quote, in order to support and advance the school's educational and research activities by the raising of funds. The foundation will operate pursuant to the not-for-profit corporation law of the state of New York and in compliance with the financial management guidelines for college foundations issued by the university controller. Mr. Chair, I present item 5M for the board's approval.
I'd like to second that. Are there questions on 5M? All in favor say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Item 5N, establish a policy requiring pre-tenure review to ensure that tenure-track faculty members are provided with adequate guidance on their progress towards meeting the standards for tenure. Under this new policy, academic deans shall be required to review the records of untenured faculty towards the end of their 3rd year of service and to submit a memorandum to the department chairperson setting forth recommendations for any additional guidance to be provided. The recommendations will be shared with the faculty member and placed in his or her file following consultation and acknowledgement. A similar practice has been undertaken at a number of campuses and has proved useful in ensuring timely guidance to faculty members and will now be implemented across the university. Mr. Chair, I present item 5N for the board's approval.
Thank you very much. May I have a second on that item?
Seconded.
Are there questions? This is an important item. All in favor, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That item carries.
Thank you. Item 5O, request the adoption of an updated campus and workplace violence prevention policy to replace and supersede that adopted by the board in 2004. The policy has been revised to comply with the New York State labor law enacted in March 2007 that required all state agencies to adopt a workplace violence policy incorporating the rules and regulations established by the U.S. Department of Labor pursuant to the Workplace Violence Prevention Law. Under the new policy, the campuses will be required to develop and promulgate a workplace violence prevention program, including annual physical risk assessment site evaluations, and to provide annual training in workplace violence prevention for all university employees. Mr. Chair, I present item 5O for the board's approval.
Thank you. May I have a second on this item?
Second.
Are there questions? Workplace violence prevention? All in favor say aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? That carries.
Mr. Chair, that concludes my report.
Thank you very much. We'll turn next to the Committee on Facilities Planning and Management. I'd like to call on Trustee Frida Foster.
Considered 4 calendar items on January 31st, and 1 additional item has been added to the calendar as item number 5. First item, York College Master Plan Amendment, to authorize an amendment to the college master plan adopted in 1975. Over the 35 years that has passed since York College last approved its master plan, many profound changes have occurred to require a substantial revision of the college's master plan. This proposed amendment addresses those changes and offers strategies that will accommodate the college's anticipated growth in enrollment and space, its current and projected technology and infrastructure needs, and its need to modernize the facilities and technologies necessary for instructional and student support. The amendment proposes a series of renovation projects and building additions to bring the existing instructional and support space up to current pedagogical and technological standards, and to provide sufficient classroom and laboratory space to meet the college's projected enrollment growth. Item number 2, College of Staten Island campus-wide security system, to authorize a contract with Johnson Controls for installation of a campus-wide site security system at the College of Staten Island. The existing campus security systems were installed in 1989 to serve a campus that was then only 204 acres. These systems were never designed to serve the current expanded campus, and because they use technologies that are now obsolete, they have become increasingly difficult to maintain. This resolution will authorize the installation of new expanded state-of-the-art security system that is integrated to provide two-way communications, a public address system, emergency telephone stations, visual surveillance, building access controls, and data storage, all monitored from a new security control center console. This new system will provide for a more efficient and reliable system with built-in flexibility for future expansion. Item number 3, Hostos Community College, new lease at the Gateway Center, located at River Avenue at 149th Street in the Bronx, to authorize a new lease of space to house the college's continuing education and workforce training center. The central location of these facilities near the college and transit lines make this site ideal to house the center, which provides continuing education and workforce development with programs that include training in existing high-demand industries such as healthcare and educational support, and in emerging industries such as green construction and biotechnology. This amendment would authorize a new 15-year lease of the premises. Item number 4, the City University of New York, new lease at 5030 Broadway, New York, to authorize a new 15-year lease of space in the Washington Heights area of Manhattan to house the CUNY and the Heights programs. The CUNY and the Heights programs, jointly administered by Hostos Community College and the Borough of Manhattan Community College, are currently housed in space at the Good Shepherd School in Washington Heights, under a lease that will expire on June 30th, 2011. The current lease space is no longer adequate for the program's needs, lacking ADA accessibility, air conditioning, and sufficient electrical capacity. This resolution will authorize a new 15-year lease of classroom and office space, also in Washington Heights, that can better support the program's needs. Added item number 5, the City University of New York sale of condominium unit at 225 Fifth Avenue, to authorize the execution of a contract of sale and related documents. The apartment unit Penthouse A was originally acquired as the residence for the president of Baruch College. It is no longer used as a presidential residence and was put up for sale by the university. After extensive marketing, the university has accepted the highest offer for the apartment at a price of $2 million. I hereby request your approval of these calendar items.
Thank you very much. May I have a second on these items? Second. Are there comments or questions? I feel that on behalf of Dr. Morales, I should salute the new lease in Washington Heights for the benefit of that community. Does anyone else care to make a comment? All right. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Those items carry.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. That concludes my report.
Thank you very much. I would like to move the award of the honorary degrees that you will find on page 15 of your calendar books. May I have a second on these honorary degrees? Before we vote, I note that a Doctor of Laws degree is to be awarded to Julian Bond. That's the Georgia Julian Bond, right? In 1966, Chief Justice Warren asked me to work on the opinion in which the Supreme Court would reverse the refusal of the Georgia House of Representatives to seat Julian Bond, allegedly because of his anti-Vietnam War public statements. It would be the first time any court in the history of the United States ever reversed a legislative body on the matter of qualifications of its members. It had been thought that the separation of powers notions required that courts treat legislatures independently. So I tried to work on the opinion, and I said, Chief, I don't know what to say. There aren't any precedents. He said, well, if you can't find a precedent, make a precedent. With that, all in favor of these honorary degrees, please say aye. Aye. Any opposed? Abstentions? Good. Julian Bond will get his honorary degree. That concludes our business for this public meeting. We're adjourned.
Michelle?